This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome to this Wednesday Jason Walker Show inside the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave. Thanks for joining us. Coming up today, big show. We've got a debut. We finally have a name for our segment with Alex Eschelman after a couple of weeks, and she will join us, talk about Big Sky Media Days, covering the State A Legion Championships, and much more. Also, Montana's best TV producer and host, Julie Mack, will join us. What they do is outstanding, showcasing the state of Montana. You can watch this show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports. Just go to jasonwalkershow.com for anything you may need from the past, present, or even the future. The opening segment is always brought to you by our good friends over at Montana Custom Log Home, the premier log home company in the industry. You've got three distinct divisions to create the log home of your dreams and your budget. Milled, handcrafted, and timber frame. 15 different offerings for floor plans. You can go in with your own. Check them out, Montana Custom Log Homes at yourcustomlog.com to get started today. Our Twitter handle at JWalkerSports, our email jason at jasonwalkershow.com. And we start with the news that came out late last night that Vin Scully passed away at the age of 94. I mean, we all knew it was coming. You never anticipate it, though, even at that age. But Vin Scully and what he meant to the world of, well, not just baseball, but baseball and the Dodgers, but sports in general and the way to live your life. 67 years behind the mic with the Dodgers, both in Brooklyn and then in Los Angeles, retired, 6 years ago, and passing away last night at the age of 94. And, Vin Scully, I never got to meet him, but you grew up listening to him. He was the voice of baseball. He was NBC for a long time, 83 to 89. He was, he did all sorts of different sports. And, I mean, when you look at what he did in his life, he's an icon, right? But just imagine, Pee Wee Reese, Jackie Robinson. He was there when Jackie broke the color barrier. You had Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax, and the Dodgers in the 60s. Oral Hershiser, Fernando Mania, Hideo Nomo, Clayton Kershaw, just to name a few. And, it's a big, big loss. And, I guess I learned a lot from Vin, never meeting him. But, this is the kind of the one of the coolest things is, as an announcer, play-by-play, you're constantly drinking water. A lot of guys have cough drops because you're talking so much. And I learned from Vin to get a bottle of water, a 20-ounce bottle of water, and you put cough drops in it. Because it drives you nuts if you hear that cough drop rattling around in your mouth while you're doing play-by-play. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear it outside of play-by-play. But you put the cough drops in the water, your voice stays lubricated, and you stay hydrated. And that's what Vin did forever. He was on the air when Don Drysdale set the scoreless streak of 58 and two-thirds innings, and then he was on the air when Oral Hershiser broke it 20 years later. 3 perfect games. Don Larson's World Series in 56, Koufax in 65, Dennis Martinez in 91. He also was on the mic for 20 no-hitters. And, you think about some of the great calls in sports, I mean, this has to be right up there.
Standing ovation for Henry Aaron. So the confrontation for the second time. Aaron walked in the second inning. He means the tying run at the plate now. So we'll see what Downing does. Al at the belt, delivers, and he's low. Ball one. And that just adds to the pressure. The crowd booing. Downing has to ignore the sound effects and stay a professional and pitch his game. 1 ball and no strikes. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep and straight away. Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone. For Atlanta and the state of Georgia, what a marvelous moment for the country and the world. A black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol. And it is a great moment for all of us, and particularly for Henry Aaron, who was met at home plate not only by every member of the Braves, but by his father and mother. He threw his arms around his father, and as he left the home plate area, his mother came running across the grass, threw her arms around his neck, kissed him for all she was worth. As Aaron circled
To call Henry Aaron's 715th home run. And, I mean, yeah, he said it the best. A black man getting a standing ovation in the Deep South. Unbelievable. You know, the Kirk Gibson home run. And what Vin was great at was knowing when to not talk. In the perfect game for Sandy Koufax, he went silent for 38 seconds. He went quiet for almost a minute with Kirk Gibson's pinch hit home run in the '88 World Series. The press box at Dodger Stadium is named after him. The main gate at Dodger Stadium is named after him. He's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's got a Hollywood Walk of Fame. And, you know, he also did NFL, PGA, 25 World Series, 12 All-Star games on national television. And unbelievable. Vin Scully, he's going to be missed for sure. Broadcasters all over, fans of baseball all over, just saddened by that news that came out last night. Other news in Montana, the Billings Royals, after winning the state AA Legion title, are headed off to Gillette, Wyoming, where they will play in the Class AA Northwest Region 7, starting today through Sunday. The winner of that region goes on to the 95th Legion World Series in Shelby, North Carolina, in next week. Royals will open against the host team, Gillette. So good luck to the Billings Royals. There's we'll talk about a little bit with Alex Eschelman coming up here in a couple of minutes, but it is August. The calendar turned. We now focus on fall sports, high school and college. And you get all sorts of preseason polls. You get all sorts of stuff. The Frontier Conference volleyball poll came out. The preseason pick. You've got, Providence. Providence taking over and heading out to start the season soon and pick to win in the Frontier. I had the whole poll up and then I lost it, so let me find it again. But here we go. Here it is, somewhere, maybe. All right. Well, you've got the volleyball poll out. And I can tell you that Providence was picked to win the league. They had a great run last year, and behind Arunas Duda looking to have another good run this year. So there you go. I think Carroll and Tech were second and third, and fourth was Rocky. So that is what I know. All right. It is Wednesday. It is August the 3rd. And our focus, seriously, it now shifts tremendously to the fall sports seasons. I mean, high school football starts in 23 days. You've got high school golf starting up soon, cross country starting up soon, volleyball. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But it's why we do what we do, and it's our favorite time of the year. The Jason Walker Show opening segment brought to you by Montana Custom Log Homes, the premier log home company in the industry. Veteran-owned, family-owned, woman-owned, and operated. And they will treat you like family. 50-plus years experience, the finest craftsmen available in the state, maybe in the West. And you can visit them, Montana Custom Log Homes, at yourcustomlog.com today. Take a break. We'll come back. Alex Eschelman will join us. Next, we'll talk Gallatin Valley sports. We'll talk Big Sky Media Days and more, including what is hair gloss. It's all coming up. Jason Walker Show. Stick around.
Strength,
What's number one?
beauty,
A second home run.
superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Ah, summer. A time to work in the yard and get all those projects that you've been thinking about all winter done. And when you've had enough, go to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar to cool off, relax, laugh a little, or a lot, your choice. Have a drink and play your favorite games. There's plenty of new games and your old favorites. Now, if you don't want to work hard and the relaxing part sounds the best to you, then just head over to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar on Dredge behind Jade Restaurant. Happy summer, everyone.
L&P Grocery offers Boulder a convenient shopping experience, whether you're stopping in for a few things or stocking up for the week ahead. From fresh produce and meat to all the staples you need to feed your family, you'll find it here. L&P Grocery is also proud to have partnerships with local brands and carry products unique to the area. Stop by to exchange propane tanks, pick up fishing tackle, grab your prescription, or get your photo taken at the Pitcher Kiosk. They're delighted to be the one-stop shop for local area Boulder residents who want to support local business. Visit lnpgrocery.com and at 215 North Main Street. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Looking for something sweet before work? How about that fresh brewed coffee? Maybe a fresh baked cinnamon roll as you head in for another great day exploring. Then look no further than the Sweet Spot in Boulder. Whatever your pleasure, the Sweet Spot has everything to fix that craving. From daily specials and rolls to tasty cookies and more. Don't forget that caramel macchiato or espresso and many more of your favorite flavors. The Sweet Spot caters to the local community and cares about providing the best treats every day. Visit the Sweet Spot on Facebook or in Boulder at 102 North Main Street.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rutgers Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rutgers, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rutgers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
This is the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show on a Wednesday. Segment brought to you by Rutgers Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rutgers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. All right, I found the volleyball poll for the Frontier. Providence, 28-3 last year, picked to be number one this year, and won 3 NAI tourney matches, lost in 4 games in the quarterfinals to Park University. Tech was second, Carroll third, Rocky fourth, Western fifth, and MSU Northern in sixth. So, there you go. Coming up in a little bit, we're going to talk with Julie Mack. She is the host and producer of a fantastic series that talks about Montana tourism and great places to go visit. And you can check out that website, montanasbesttv.com. But we'll talk to her coming up about the project and the episodes. Also on this day in history, the walk-off, and much more still to come. But it is time to get back to normal. Yes, it's been a couple weeks since we got to chat with our good friend Alex Eschelman, and she joins us now here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, it has been a couple of weeks since we got to chat. You've been jet-setting all over the place, but let me start with this. How cool was it to see Butte Miners win their first title since 1953?
It was awesome, Jason. It was so fun. Just the entire tournament had so many great storylines. That final game, the Butte Billings Cardinals were going for their first ever. So for them to make it that far, and I remember talking to them after they had won their semifinal game to make it to the championship, they said, we were supposedly just a feeder team. You know, that's kind of the way people looked at them. And so it was an accomplishment in itself for the Cardinals to make it there. And then for Butte, first time since 1953, those guys were so fun to cover. You could tell their tight-knit bond. They were silly, they were having fun, but they were also there to win. And you could tell, like, from their first game, it's like, geez, how have these guys not won a championship in 69 years? These guys are really stinking good. So it was a special moment for sure. And the weather, it was hot, but I'm not complaining considering how cold it gets in Montana. So I was happy with the sunny and 95, 90-degree weather.
Yeah, no, you and I have talked. You know I love the heat. So before we dive into Big Sky Media Days and all of that stuff, Vin Scully passed away last night. The Dodgers announced it, and you're a Cali girl. So you kind of, you know, I grew up listening to him. You know who he is. You know how famous he was with the Dodgers, even though it was, you know, the rival. But what does his passing, I mean, his legacy mean to you?
That's a really good question, Jason. Well, first of all, I remember watching his final game at AT&T Park. I think it was still AT&T Park at that time, or I don't know what the name was, now Oracle, but you know, he's just one of those people, two things, that you just don't know if there's ever going to be another Vin Scully. He really is the best of the best, and across multiple generations. And I think that from your generation, my generation, my parents, my grandparents, I think everybody can agree that we all think, oh, there's not going to be another Vin Scully. Like that's how prominent of a figure and a legend he is. He's sitting at the top of the throne, top of the mountain, and no one's really even close. So that one, to his story. And I was watching all those videos last night, ESPN, MLB Network, just reminiscing with everybody else. And his story of growing up in New York and his whole kind of journey coming out to LA and becoming what he was is so inspiring, and he was meant to do it. And so, and then the last thing was he was just he seemed, I think you can agree on this too, but any legendary sports broadcaster, any TV figure, that those people that are the best, they make you feel like you know them, even when you don't. And you feel like if you were to meet them, they would act like they're your friend and welcoming. And I think that's his biggest accomplishment, is I think everybody has something good to say about him.
100% agree. ABC Fox Montana SWX sports reporter Alex Eschelman joining us. Okay, so you finally came up with a name for this segment. I'm going to let you give it and let you explain what it means.
Okay. We were going over a handful of names, but we have come down to, and I threw this one out there and you're like, let's go with that one. Yeah. And it is definitely the weirdest, but it is called the Eschel Special Sports Report. And now let me break down Eschel Special. So Eschel Special is two things. First of all, it is a rainbow sherbet 7-Up Shirley Temple sundae that my grandpa, I call him Papa, always made for me growing up. And so, and I'm a big sweet tooth, so that was like my favorite dessert growing up, and it was a really special thing that he and I would make together, and still do, thankfully and fortunately. So that transitioned over to when Instagram and social media first started becoming a thing, right, Jason? Yep. It wasn't about being professional. It wasn't about, having Alex Eschelman or just a normal name. People had funny names, they had creative and people still do, but it's obviously changed so much. So when I was creating my first Instagram account, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to write Eschel Special. I was Eschel Special 5. That was like my name. 5 was my favorite number. Put it next to that nickname. And throughout my whole life, people really have not called me Alex. It's always been more like different nicknames off my last name and that name. It was like Eschel Special, Eshy, Eschelman, like always going by my last name. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just bring the Eschel Special back onto the best show in America, the Jason Walker Show.
Oh, wow. That's high praise from you. But I do like it. I think it's perfect because you are the special one on this show. For many reasons. So our debut of the Eschel Special today, and I'm wearing my Tommy football shirt today. Just for this.
It. You're repping. It's Montana State Football Media Day.
Yes.
We're excited. It's back. And one of 2 Bobcats picked today to be on the Walter Payton preseason list.
Yeah, Isaiah Afonso and Tommy Malott both named preseason, which, Tommy's getting all sorts of recognition after playing 3-4 games last year, and deservedly so, I think. But that's a lot of pressure on a young kid like that, right?
Oh, completely. I can only imagine being in his shoes. But the cool thing about Tommy Malott, and yes, he hasn't played a game so far this season. Yes, he was coming off of, kind of being a little banged up there after that final game and having to recover. But he has not shown one bit of feeling that pressure, feeling the nerves. He has, in a very short time period, transformed into this, and not transformed, just owned the fact that people owned his position. He knows that not only Bobcat fans love him, but the state of Montana loves Tommy Malott. Mm-hmm. And even at the baseball tournament, I was sitting next to a Grizz fan talking about, all the great things that are on the horizon for the Grizz football program this year. But he did bring up Tommy Malott, and he was like, oh yeah, we're from Butte. We love Tommy and we're rooting for him. And Tommy owns that. And I think that, I'm sure he's nervous. We're all human. I'd be freaking nervous too. Are you kidding? If I were in his shoes, but he's not showing it. And that's why he's in the position that he is in.
So 2 weeks ago, Big Sky Media Days, you traveled out to Spokane. The whole crew was out there. A lot of fun was had. The first ever Big Sky Hall of Fame. You got to interview Jan again, which I know you love. Jan Stenerud, who doesn't?
Witnessed our first time meeting.
I know. That was cool. But what was Media Days like for you? I know I've been out there multiple times. It's crazy stressful. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun at the same time.
Oh my gosh, it was a blast. It was a blast because I got to see Mary Luce, who's like my best sports girlfriend in the business. She just is incredible and so nice and so talented. And she's a pageant girl and I'm a cheerleader. When you put those two together, you're like, ah!
She was Miss Miami, right? Is that what she was?
Yes.
Miss Miami?
Yes,
yeah.
She was in Miami, and we just hit it off right off the bat a year ago. So it was our 1 year friendiversary at the Big Sky Football Media Day. It was very exciting. People witnessed it. They were probably annoyed, but when we first saw each other, we screamed and gave each other a big hug.
Oh.
So that was great. It's just, I feel so lucky to be around so many men in this business who are respectful and nice and welcoming, and they make me feel, and I think Mary Luce would say the same thing, but there are so many more males in this male-dominated industry than not, so far in my experience, where I've had good experiences. And all of the coaches, Coach Vegan, obvious, I bug him every single day, and he shows me nothing but respect and kindness. Coach Hauk, another great one who I've been able to, have a good relationship with. And then Coach Baldwin, Portland State head coach, all these guys, they're just awesome. They're just really nice, and they all have their personalities, and same with the players. It trickles down right down into their teams.
So what was the message from Bobcat Camp? Because you had Brent Vegan out there, the head coach. You had Tommy Malott. I don't remember who else was. Who else was out there?
Ty Okada.
Oh, Ty Okada. That's right. Mm-hmm. But what was the message coming from Montana State?
The same. First of all, it was kind of cool to see Coach Vegan. You could see that there was a definite difference in not his demeanor, but you could just tell his first year of being there last year and coming in with all this expectation. I think that he was able to be himself a little bit more this time around. And so that was really nice to see him really extra just happy and enthusiastic and excited about this upcoming season and confident. And I think that's the one word that I would describe Coach Vegan, Ty, and Tommy. Confident and the same demeanor. It's calm, cool, and collected, one game at a time mentality. And I really don't think that they are thinking about, we have to make it back to the championship. Obviously, that's what they want to do. But I think they are level-headed enough to know we're not going to get there if we don't have the success within the regular season that we had last year. So calm, cool, and collected and ready to go.
Was there any disappointment in not being selected to win the league? You lose a ton of talent at MSU. Grizz picked to win it, the Cats second, third, depending on which poll you looked at. But was there disappointment there, or is it, all right, we still got a chip on our shoulder because people still disrespect us?
That's a good question, Jason. And I will be honest with you here. I'm always honest. I need to stop saying that statement. Got to be honest. No, I'm always being honest. But I do think, first of all, when you're talking with the Grizz and with the Cats, it is a little nerve-wracking to bring up the Grizz or the Cats to the opposite teams because they don't want to talk about each other. They just don't. They're not going to really acknowledge each other. I think if they did, it would be classy and the correct answer that they would need to give, the professional answer. But I mean, I think if you're asking my opinion, I'm sure that adds a chip on Montana State's shoulder, but they're focused on them. Yeah. You know, both these teams are focused on them, and even Coach Houck said that too. We asked him about what it was like to be picked, and they're like, that's great, but, and both these coaches said, they're like, preseason awards, accolades, predictions, it's all a bunch of smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think if you're asking you and me, and you would put yourself in their shoes, obviously you'd kind of think that would maybe irritate them or put a chip on their shoulder, but they're not going to say that. And I also think that more importantly, they know that they can't focus on the Grizz being picked, and the Grizz can't focus on the fact that they were picked because they haven't done anything yet.
Yep. No, that's a good point. Very good point. All right. I got to let you go. What are we working on this week? You got Media Day today, as you mentioned.
Everything is happening. Yes. We are back. We are back. The Cats are back. Cat football is back. Cat volleyball is back. You know, everything. We've got high school football back. We're back. Yep. That's what we are working on. I am finalizing fall schedules. I am going to Media Day today, talking with all the guys and having some fun there. And just getting ready. I mean, what are you most excited about when looking at both the Cats and the Grizz this season?
Can the Grizz live up to the expectations?
Right.
It's like Texas. Are the Grizz back? You know, and then with the Cats, it's can they repeat the success? Mm-hmm. You know, and both have to stay healthy. That's the bottom line. You have to stay healthy. Although the Cats have a pretty good backup quarterback if need be, but health is the biggest thing. And it's going to be a crazy next, I guess, 27 days till high school gets going or whatever it is, and a crazy month until football for the Cats and the Grizz gets going. It is hair gloss day today. What exactly is hair gloss? I know what lip gloss is, but what's hair gloss?
Hair gloss day.
Yeah.
I've never used something that is called hair gloss.
Okay.
I've used gel. That brings me back to my competitive cheerleading days where you just go, right. And then you do this big ponytail with a big bow. And you got to have the personality to match it too when you get out there. So It's quite the scene. But I don't know what hair gloss is.
I don't either.
You know what hair gloss is?
I don't. Clearly I don't. You've seen my hair. I use, what do I use when I do it, like in Billings? No. It's a pomade. I use a pomade.
Yeah. Okay. So sure. You know, shout out to all the gels and the pomades and the hairsprays that keep us broadcasting folks just looking nice and ready to go.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for joining us. That is the first edition of the Eschel Special. It'll be every week. I love it. And have fun at Media Day today. Stay warm, stay hydrated, and have some fun.
Thank you, Jason. Always love being on your show, and we will talk next week.
That is Alex Eschelman joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. It's not just a bundle, it's your home, it's your auto, it's your life. Mike understands that. Get a hold of Mike Miller State Farm in Helena today. All right, so hair gloss is, according to MadisonReed.com, a beauty secret that people are now discovering. It's also known as semi-permanent color. So it comes in a clear and tinted shades, all of which add shine. It's easy to use and helps all hair types look and feel more beautiful. So this is some of the benefits you get from hair gloss. You maintain color and improve results, refresh faded lengths and ends, deepen or darken color, correct yellow and red tones that make hair look brassy, and it adds smoothness and shine. See, you get it all. It's not just sports you get here on the Jason Walker Show. You get to learn what hair gloss is. We're here to serve. We'll take a break. We'll come back. When we return, speaking of serving, there are some great places in Montana that serve up unbelievable tourism spots that may be hidden gems. And Julie Mack from Montana's Best TV will join us to talk about those and more when we return here on the Jason Walker Show, brought to you by Rutgers Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rutgers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rutgers Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rutgers, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rutgers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Looking for something sweet before work? How about that fresh brewed coffee? Maybe a fresh baked cinnamon roll as you head in for another great day exploring. Then look no further than the Sweet Spot in Boulder. Whatever your pleasure, the Sweet Spot has everything to fix that craving. From daily specials and rolls to tasty cookies and more. Don't forget that caramel macchiato or espresso and many more of your favorite flavors. The Sweet Spot caters to the local community and cares about providing the best treats every day. Visit the Sweet Spot on Facebook or in Boulder at 102 North Main Street. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. L&P Grocery offers Boulder a convenient shopping experience, whether you're stopping in for a few things or stocking up for the week ahead. From fresh produce and meat to all the staples you need to feed your family, you'll find it here. L&P Grocery is also proud to have partnerships with local brands and carry products unique to the area. Stop by to exchange propane tanks, pick up fishing tackle, grab your prescription, or get your photo taken at the Pitcher Kiosk. They're delighted to be the one-stop shop for local area Boulder residents who want to support local business. Visit lnpgrocery.com and at 215 North Main Street.
Strength, beauty, grit, superior craftsmanship. Our homes have it all. At Montana Custom Log Homes, if you can dream it, we can build it. With 3 divisions and over 50 years experience, we've got you covered. From a showcase home to a small cabin, we make your vision a reality. Because every cowboy wants a castle for his queen. Montana Custom Log Homes, crafting homes that last for generations.
Ah, summer. A time to work in the yard and get all those projects that you've been thinking about all winter done. And when you've had enough, go to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar to cool off, relax, laugh a little, or a lot, your choice. Have a drink and play your favorite games. There's plenty of new games and your old favorites. Now, if you don't want to work hard and the relaxing part sounds the best to you, then just head over to Lucky Duck Casino and Bar on Dredge behind Jade Restaurant. Happy summer, everyone.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment on a Wednesday. Tomorrow we're talking with Miss Last Chance Stampede, Amber Lacrosse. Also, Mrs. Montana, Caitlin Nebel will join us. Talk about her platform and running for Mrs. America. Got on this day in history coming up. Some news about a kid out of Frenchtown did something awesome. Coming up in the walk-off. But it is time to talk about Montana. We love Montana. Born and raised in Montana. Even those that are moving to Montana love Montana. I don't know how many more times we can say Montana, but she is the host of Montana's Best TV. Her name is Julie Mack, and she joins us now here on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Julie, I'm looking forward to chatting with you. It's going to be fun because explain what exactly you do.
What exactly I do? Well, I'm with a show called Montana's Best, and it came out this March 18th, and we're still releasing episodes, but the fun thing about our show is it's a show that's made for Montanans, by Montanans, and for the visitors that come to Montana. We literally go and explore all 6 different regions of the state. A lot of people, when they think about Montana and visiting, they're like, Yellowstone,
Right.
Glacier. They don't think of the other spots. And before we got started filming, we reached out to the tourism department because this literally is a tourism show, just saying, how can we help you? And they said, please bring exposure to all 6 regions. So we did exactly that. Our first episode, we're in Glendive, Montana, which just so happens to be one of the top spots in the United States to go dinosaur digging. Had no idea about that. And it's a fun bit. I mean, we're on a ranch, and they've had numerous of their findings in the Smithsonian, as well as museums like Oversea and Bozeman, all over the place. So the show is basically spotlighting unique attractions, fun things to do with the family or by yourself or with friends, and it's a win-win for everybody, because it's a win for the local, because I'm a local, right, and I had no idea about half of these things that we filmed. But, just letting locals know, hey, you don't need to go out of state to have fun. You literally can just get in your car. You're used to driving, right? You can go 5 hours, you can go 2 hours, you could go 10 hours, and be discovering something new for the very first time. As well as the visitors. You have a lot of people here coming, and they're like, we want to know about the hidden gems. We want to know about the, not so talked about places. And this show spotlights that.
It's interesting checking out your website, because it seems to me it's like Mike Rowe in Dirty Jobs without doing a dirty job.
Yeah, you're very observant. So Mike Rowe is probably one of the few people that I saw his style of doing things and was like, yes, I like how that is. It was a very lean crew that I had, a bunch of Montana boys and me going out and filming, and literally that we just let the cameras roll, and half of the stuff is all improv. And that's why, we have a lot of people that say, I feel like I'm there with you, and that's exactly what we wanted. We didn't want a really overproduced production because, 1, we didn't have the budget for that. 2, we wanted to make it feel very real and like they were there with us. And also seeing my reactions, seeing my crew reactions for the first time. And that's something that Mike Rowe, I found out later, I didn't know this beforehand, but I actually found this out about a year ago, that with Dirtiest Jobs, that was how they did things. Mike never wanted to know a bunch of information about the spot beforehand. He just wanted to show up and let the cameras roll. So unknowingly, I was following his path. But yeah, great observation.
Do we call you Michaela Rowe from now on instead of Julie Mack? From now on?
Julie Mack.
Okay, I like it. What's been the reception when you come to these towns and you come to these places?
From the attractions or from the viewers?
From the people, from the towns themselves.
Oh my gosh. So literally, we have these businesses thanking us, saying, thank you for doing this. Now, you have to understand, a lot of these attractions and businesses, they don't know how to market themselves. So us coming out and doing this is incredible marketing for them. But then you have the people that are like, yes, please, we just want people to know that we exist. And they're always just very happy and willing to accommodate and very grateful. We actually had a woman call us that her attraction was featured, and she says, you know what, we're booked up for the summer. We've never been like that, and we know it's because of your show. And yet again, just on their YouTube episode, I mean, there are like 60-plus comments of people talking about how they're going to go out and check it out. We've had numerous locals tell us, say, oh my gosh, we've lived here 20 years, 30 years, I'm second, third generation, never knew that this existed. So a lot of those business owners and attractions are getting people coming there for the first time that are Montanans that are really excited about it. So trust me, the businesses are very, very grateful for these pieces because they're great marketing pieces. We want them to put it on their website. We want them to utilize it for their social media. I mean, JMAC Productions is a media marketing company. We already do that. So when creating this show, we just kind of combined the television and the marketing side together and came up with Montana's Best. So we want them to be able to have digital assets they can use. And we have a professional photographer with us when we do these shoots, and we give them access to the picture saying, hey, however you want to use it, you're more than welcome to.
We're talking with host, executive producer of Montana's Best Television, Julie Mack, on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. You were at the Gates of the Mountains in Helena, and it's so beautiful. I haven't done it probably since 7th or 8th grade. I live in Helena. I need to go do it. But we had a big golf tournament here last week. A bunch of junior girls from all over the West, and they took the tour and absolutely loved it. They get to learn so much about the Gates of the Mountains, and you forget, like I said, I'm 17 miles away, and forget it's there.
I know, and that's the other thing that makes our show different, is it's not just about like, let me just show you the fun things. It's an educational program. So we have a huge heart for showing, yes, the uniqueness of Montana, but also showing the history of Montana, because the history of Montana is what has made Montana what it is today. And, where people come and they're like, oh, I want to move to Montana or want to visit Montana, and everyone's so nice and love the culture and this and that. Well, there's a reason why. You have a lot of hardworking people that are here, and you also have that second, third, fourth, fifth generation. For example, in Virginia City was the first place in the United States to ever get electricity. Before New York, before Boston, and the reason why is because people were literally coming out here and becoming millionaires overnight. So that would be like today, people becoming billionaires and trillionaires overnight. They had the money. At one point in Helena, we'll talk about Helena, the population was over 20% of the population was Chinese. You had people coming from not a couple, but hundreds of different countries and cultures and languages. And this was in the mid-1800s to the beginning part of the 1900s, where you had all these people from different cultures that had to learn how to get along and to communicate. So, a lot of people don't know this. We had people from Egypt. We had people from Russia. We had people from all over. Montana, in its infant stages, was extraordinarily diverse, with people from all over the world trying to get their piece of the pie. The reality is once the gold boom settled down, it was the people that came from colder climates that stayed because they could handle it. That's just the reality.
Like I said, you've been all over the state. What has been your favorite place to go to?
That's such a tough one, because each episode in each location really is so one of a kind. That is a tough one. I would say the most surprising, I would say Helena, believe it or not, surprised me the most. Because I always remembered Helena kind of like, you pass through, what do you do here? It kind of seems blah. oh man, there's so many cool things that you can do. I tell people, plan a 2-day trip to Helena and you can actually stay busy. That surprised me. I think Glendive, Montana surprised me. There's not a whole lot of what you can do, but you can definitely have a day or two of staying busy and exploring new adventures and opportunities for sure.
So you've been to Anaconda, Big Sky, Billings, Bozeman, Hardin, Kalispell. So you are getting all over the state. Which is a lot of time in a vehicle.
Right, and the thing is too is on our website, like we have all these different towns, and a lot of stuff we'll do features about them or articles about them. But as far as the episodes, man, we're coming out this week. We're doing episode 13. We haven't nearly hit all of those towns that are in Montana, but yet would love to. We had somebody from the Crow Agency reach out to us on Instagram saying, listen, you need to come here for Crow Days. We had somebody from Libby, Montana saying, please, we're having the International Chainsaw Carving Championship in Libby, Montana, and people from all over the world are coming to it. You know, you got the Red Ants Pants gals having their timber workshop skills for women in chainsaws, and you got ladies coming from all over the state to attend stuff like this. So there's just a lot of things. We got people from Malta calling us. We have countless county commissioners and mayors saying, please come on out, feature our town, feature our county. We want the publicity on it. And that's the thing is these people are saying we like the way you're doing it because you're showing the counties, the attraction, the towns in a unique way, and in a respectful way too.
Well, yeah, and you have to. And being a Montanan, we know what Montana is all about. Talking with Julie Mack, Montana Best TV host and producer. Let me ask you this. Do you get hands down or hands into this stuff? I mean, you dive in like the sapphire mining, for instance, at Spokane Bar.
Oh yeah, everything that you guys see, we are literally experiencing for the first time. So do we get our hands dirty? Absolutely. Do I have wolves jumping on me where I feel like, oh my gosh, they're gonna bite my throat? Yes, I do. Are we running into things where we're being told, oh my gosh, that's a spider patch, run, get everything off of you, tell your crew to get stuck? Yeah, we're experiencing a lot of things. Are we getting on the horses? Are we doing that stuff? Absolutely. And it's funny because part of my crew, they don't know how to ride. And I didn't think about that because I was used to riding. And God bless these guys. I mean, they were saddle sore for days, but they were great sports about it, you know? That's awesome. It's like, it's not just me, it's our crew that also has to get into it. But yeah, Sapphire Mine was amazing, and we definitely got our hands dirty, and it was one heck of a workout. But also, it was such a history lesson, too, just learning about the Missouri and Lewis and Clark, and, you know, just understanding the geology, about the sediments and how the hills are and how you find sapphires, etc.
It's amazing to watch for sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I learned that a ruby is a red sapphire. I didn't know that.
I did not.
I know. So they were like, do you know a ruby is a red sapphire? And I'm like, mind blown, you know? So it's fun. Honestly, every episode is different. Not one episode is similar. I mean, we were in Nevada City, and those day player gals, they grabbed me and transformed me, and I came out as a mid-1800s lady. And I had 7 different layers of garb, and it was, you know, high 90s that day, and yet we had a blast, you know. So every attraction, we're always learning, and we're always down for whatever. And that's usually us saying, yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, I mean, it's great, too, because if you look at your website, and I'll give that out here in a minute, but, you know, we all know about Museum of the Rockies. We all know about Virginia City for the most part. Some people may not know the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center up in Great Falls, how cool that is.
Right.
And the shortest river in the world is in Montana. Which is pretty cool, the Roe River. What's the one place you're looking forward to getting to next?
We're working really hard for another season for funding. I mean, we're knee deep in it right now. And a place I really would like to shine a spotlight on is Libby, Montana. And I'll tell you a little bit about Libby. Libby, Montana, their population has more than cut in half over the years. It was once a huge thriving town with the logging community, but then also they produced asbestos because back in the day that was used for everything. Just like smoking 30 years ago was considered cool, but now it's not considered cool. But Libby, Montana was a very thriving place, and generation and after generation, they would work in the mills or they'd be working up in the caverns and whatnot. And in the 90s, it became apparent that there were two things that happened in the 90s that really affected Libby, Montana. First of all, they were declared a place like this is an emergency. We got to clean up the asbestos because it's getting in the rivers, it's getting into stuff. We got to shut down all production. Well, that affected jobs, but also the mentality for the people because they were always told, oh yeah, use this for your walls, put this in your gardens, put it on your road. I mean, think of all the years they were so innocently doing that. And then all of a sudden they're being told, by the way, you're losing your job, and all those places you guys were putting asbestos, you and the government have to work really hard to get that cleaned up, right? Yep. So that happened, but then in the late 90s, you also had limitations that came to the logging community, and Libby, Montana was a huge logging community, and it had a massive impact on them. Their population is so small right now. You've got about 2,500 people there. They're so small that they can't even get tourism dollars. Okay, because they're just so small. And they've reached out to me, and listen to this, they formed a nonprofit with their small little community to raise funds to help market Libby, Montana, to promote tourism. They have historical buildings, they have the great wilderness out there, they have a lot of unique things that I'm looking forward to exploring up there, but they reached out to me and said, please, will you please, can we please be on your show? Will you please feature us? You know, what can we do to help? How can we make this happen? So that town, as I said, now is just barely 2,500 people, whereas back in its heyday, it was 8,000, 9,000 people, which was a lot for a town. Yep. So my heart goes to them because as of, I want to say it was 2010, don't hold me to it, but they have been cleaned up. They're cleared with the government. The asbestos is gone. The community has worked very hard, but they want to say, hey, we want the tourism. Hey, come explore us because we need our town to thrive.
Well, I think what's cool. I would think what's cool too is like, you know, you've done like you said, the wolf and things like that. But the small towns definitely can benefit the most. I mean, Bozeman doesn't need help. You know, things like that. West Yellowstone maybe doesn't need the help. But places like a Libby, a Glendive, Malta, you know, the Havre. I mean, the underground tour there. People forget about that stuff, and those are the towns that need the help the most, which I think is admirable what you're doing.
Well, that's our heart. I mean, that is definitely the heart of our show. It wasn't just like, hey, let's just make a show because we feel like making a show. Our heart at the root of it is that we wanted to make sure, whether people like it or not, about Montana. Montana is growing. And if people are coming, I want them to I want the traffic to be going to the unique locations and the unique attractions in the businesses. That's my heart. I'm a business owner, and I know how hard it is to operate a business. So by creating this show, and if this business is featured because they have a great attraction for people to come to, we want to be a blessing to them as well. And that's the biggest thing that we hear from everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting us use the content. Thank you for not making it so difficult for us. You know, like, thank you. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for the viewer. It's a win for the attraction being featured. It's a win for the town that the attraction's in, because it's promoting business, and it's a win for the state. So we have fun doing it. You know, we're doing marketing and video and television work already. So this has been a really fun side project, and to be honest with you, we hope that it can continue. And I want to say one quick thing about the Montana Film Office, because we, with private funds, as well as getting a small grant from them, were able to do this first season. And the film office really believed in this project and was like, no, Montana needs this. And I will say this, my crew, more than 80% of my crew was Montana locals. And two of my guys had come up to me and they said, you know, Julie, this is the first paycheck that we've been paid in 9 months. And this was when late, 2020 was happening, when we were in the throes of COVID. So to the people that have supported this show monetarily and also just getting behind it, I say thank you, because there are a lot of creatives that live in this state and they do gig work. And the more that we can get funding and keeping this show alive, it's providing jobs for individuals and their families.
Well, I look forward to watching all of the episodes, and it's montanasbesttv.com. And
absolutely,
it's a great website. Check it out. I'm going to spend most of the day on it before golf tonight. But Julie, appreciate it. And if there's anything we can do to help out, partnership type deal, we're aboard. I'm a Montanan, born and raised. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
That is Julie Mack joining us, Jason Walker Show on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. And yeah, it's fantastic. Check it out, montanasbesttv.com. So good stuff. This segment brought to you by Bowser's Lucky Dog Casino. Make sure you stop in for warm staff, hot games, and cold beverages. Drink and gamble responsibly. Let's do on this day in history. It is August the 3rd. It is National Watermelon Day. National Hair Gloss Day, which we discovered what it is. It is also National Grab Some Nuts Day. Take that however you want. 1906, Washington Nationals' Tom Hughes becomes the first pitcher to win a 1-0 extra innings game off his own home run in the 10th inning. 1909, MLB umpire Tim Hurst instigates a riot by spitting in the face of A's second baseman Eddie Collins, who would question the call. 2 weeks later, Hurst banned for life. 1936, American sprinter Jesse Owens wins the 100-meter in 10.3 seconds in front of Adolf Hitler in a famous race at the Berlin Olympics, the first of 4 gold medals for Jesse Owens in that games. 1948, Negro League veteran pitcher Satchel Paige, at the age of 42, debuts in Cleveland, goes 7 innings and a 5-3 win. Mary Lou Retton scores a perfect 10 on their final vault to win the individual all-around competition in L.A., 1984 Olympics, becomes the first American to win an Olympic gymnastics medal. 1989, Cincinnati Reds set the record in Major League Baseball for the most hits in the first inning with 16. Scored 14 runs in an 18-1 rout of Houston. 1996, Andre Agassi wins the men's singles tennis gold at Atlanta. 2003, British Women's Open at Royal Lytham in St. Anne's. Annika Sorenstam of Sweden wins by a stroke to complete her career Grand Slam. Annika was amazing and still playing after coming out of retirement. So good.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Stop in for great pasta Zydeco. I was talking to a buddy at golf who had never been to Cafe Zydeco. I said, you need to stop in for the pasta Zydeco. And make sure you get the big one, because you can eat it for a while. It's big. It's good. Isaac Stewart, Frenchtown, made some history recently. Was at the U.S. Marine Corps Junior Nationals. Greco-Roman discipline, placed runner-up, made the championship. First ever from Frenchtown to make the title match. That happened last month out in Fargo, last week. First Montana kid in the junior finals in several years. Placed second in Greco-Roman. Also was sixth in freestyle. So in the 100-pound. Kid's pretty good, and should be proud of Frenchtown. Frenchtown should be proud of him. There you go. So good stuff. All right, fun show, as always. Thanks to Julie Mack for joining us. Check it out, montanasbesttv.com. Good, great stuff. And so much fun to have her on. Also, Alex Eschelman. The Eschel Special. Looking forward to chatting with her next week as well. Tomorrow on the show, Amber Lacrosse, Miss Last Chance Stampede. Also, Caitlin Nebel, Mrs. Montana. She's leaving, I think, next week for Mrs. America pageant. So good luck to her. We'll talk to her tomorrow. If you missed anything, JasonWalkerShow.com. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you. Got some big news coming up potentially tomorrow or next week we'll share here on the show. Hope you join us. Thanks to you, the listeners. 49 states, over 50 countries. Tune into the Jason Walker Show regularly. Love it. Appreciate you. We'll see you back here tomorrow. This has been another presentation in the Above All Handyman Services Man Cave of the Jason Walker Show.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.